Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy Anna and this is the last episode of my series on traveling to China. In this episode we're going to focus on my 5 top landmarks in China that I have experienced and I think you need to try out. Before we get going, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. 我们走吧。Let's dive straight in then. These are my top 5 landmarks based on my personal experience, guys. Obviously, there are loads of things to do in China that I still need to experience, but these are the 5 top things I recommend. Number 1 is Huangpu River. Huangpu River is the river that divides Shanghai into its 2 districts, Pudong and Puxi. This is possibly the most breathtaking night scene you will ever see, but it's also an amazing day scene as well. Mostly it's the skyscrapers that amaze me. I would recommend going to see Shanghai Tower, the 2nd tallest skyscraper in the world, and the Pearl Oriental Tower, which is a TV tower. Number 2, go visit a water town. In China, there's around 10 worth visiting, and these are water towns, or also known as canal towns. These are very popular tourist destinations, mainly because they are ancient, they have lots of bridges, rivers, perfect for pictures, and it's also where the urban residents of China flee to get away from all the noise and pollution of the big cities. I have been to the nearest water town to Shanghai, which is known as Zhujiajiao. Zhujiajiao water town is the closest one to Shanghai and it's very popular. You can even get a little boat ride. They call it the Venice of Shanghai. Beautiful. Number 3, Hangzhou, and in particular Westlake. Arguably, Westlake is one of the most beautiful sites in China. So many poems and paintings have been based around this. It's not just a lake, there's so much to it. There's different scenic spots. There's actually 3 islands in the middle of it. And the best thing to see is sunrise and sunset. There's also a music water fountain that lights up. I'm not talking a little fountain, it's huge. You only need about 1 day to explore the whole thing, and you can go via bike, you can just walk or take a boat. And there's also like a battery car that goes around the whole lake as well if you don't feel like walking or doing exercise. Number 4 is Nanjing. Now Nanjing is interesting. Lots of people think of China, Beijing, Shanghai, but Nanjing is actually one of the 4 ancient capital cities of China. What I love about Nanjing is that when I went, which was 2 years ago, it was still kind of untouched by technology. The inner part of the city itself is surrounded by a gigantic wall. And the great thing about the city, like I said, is that it remains rather untouched by technology. But of course, now China is accelerating in technology and Nanjing is going under that advancement as well. So if you're going to see the city as I saw it, that's not going to happen because things happen so quickly in China. It's probably completely different to when I saw it right now. But compared to Shanghai, Beijing, Hangzhou, I'd say when you're around Nanjing, you just feel like you're in like old Chinatown. It's so nice. Number 5. So finally, I've been talking about cities a lot. However, I do recommend exploring outside the cities because it just gives you a whole other aspect of China. For me, that was going to Huangshan Mountains, the Yellow Mountains, not too far from Shanghai and Hangzhou actually. They are amazing mountains, and if you don't feel like trekking up, there are even cable cars. You can stay, there's quite a few hotels kind of halfway up the mountain. So you can stay there and then in the morning trek to see the sun rise over the mountains. It's beautiful. They're great to see any time of the year. Obviously when it's misty weather, it's not as good for views, etc. But it's an amazing experience. I would definitely recommend. If you are up for trekking, it's about a 4-hour trek. But it's not necessarily a trek because there are steps and things that facilitate you climbing. There are honestly so many places to visit in China. I've been to China 4 times and still that is not enough. There is so much to see and it's literally so different to the rest of the world. Unbelievable. Things I haven't mentioned that I would love to see: Beijing, the Great Wall of China, of course, and the terracotta warriors. So make sure you add China to your bucket list. There is literally so much to do. I hope you found this series interesting and useful, that you might consider going to China in the future. Again, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and love to answer your questions. This is the end of my series traveling to China. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will be back with lots more videos very soon. Bye!